Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about 10 things that are costing you sales inside Etsy. All of them are important, but we're going to go from 10 to 1, 10 being the least important of the importance, and number 1 being the most important. Pay attention to all 10 and let me know in the comments if you're guilty of one or more of these problems in your store. Let's go. Okay, number 10, I see loads of sellers doing this. It's a sort of Amazon mindset and it's not valuing your work correctly. So Etsy isn't a race to the bottom. It's not cheapest product wins. There's so much more going on inside Etsy when it comes to the customers and when it comes to the products that are there for sale. You need to price your products with a price that you're happy with. You've got to be happy with your price. There's no point in charging low prices just to try and nick those first few sales, which is what so many people on YouTube tell you to do. Or running constant sales, which is another thing I see mentioned all the time. Don't do it. Don't do those things. You're not going to be happy with that process, undervaluing your work. Rather than cutting your prices, concentrate on quality, concentrate on differentiating yourself from your competitors. What's unique about you? What are you bringing to the marketplace that other people aren't? Go and focus in there and back yourself with your price. Low prices is not the answer to making more sales on Etsy. Let's move on to number 9. Number 9, this is something that I don't blame sellers for not doing it, but you need to do it. And that is you don't have enough risk products in your store. So everyone tends to copy everyone else with the products that they're making. You look at what's working and make your own version of it. That's all good. That's all good. That's how marketplaces work. But you've got to have risk products in your store as well, because you want to attempt to become a leader, not just a follower. You want products that win and you are the creator and other people end up following you. So a nice mix to have is 70% marketplace relevant products that you know are working and 30% risk products, so that you can bring something exciting, something fresh to your store and to the marketplace. This is essential for long-term success. It's not just about following the herd. Sometimes you've got to be a leader. Let's get on to number 8. Okay, number 8 is your photos of your products do not tell the product story. Okay, so if you're selling a woman's necklace, for example, we don't just want to see the necklace on a plain background or photographed on some white card or even on a mannequin or on a bust or something like that. There's no emotional connection whatsoever with your lovely jewellery or whatever it is that you make and the customers that are looking to buy the item. You've got to tell the story. You've got to put your product in the place of the customer and where they will be using it, which is why I'm such a huge proponent of having models for jewellery and photographing your products where they're going to be used. Because then you're making an emotional connection with your customer. And long term, building a successful business on Etsy or any platform is about connecting to your customers. So not having this photographic story, most sellers, honestly, this year I've worked on, it's got to be getting close to 1,000 stores already this year. And I can count on the fingers of one hand how many stores have got photography right. Okay, everyone gets it wrong. I can't remember the last time I worked with a store that had got photography right. It's so important. You've got to make that emotional connection. You've got to tell the story of your products. And the most important thing is when you do this, let's get that consistency. So don't have the context and the content of your photography all over the place. Let's get that consistent story, that consistent message across. Let's get on to number 7. Number 7, it's a big one. It's no product videos or incorrect product videos. So first of all, there's no excuse not to have product videos in our listings anymore. Everyone's got a phone. Everyone's got the ability to take a couple of minutes to film a video of your product. And when you film the video of your product, it needs to be the product in use. So show the product being used. If it's jewelry, put it on a model, film it on a model. If you're doing digital and you've got journals or workbooks or something like that, print them out, film someone using them. If you're doing print on demand, okay, it's more difficult. but you can do video slideshows. It's better than nothing. Okay, take the time to do videos for your listings and show the product in use, because that's what customers want to see, or get as close to it as you possibly can. So many sellers still don't use video. I see it all the time, and Etsy's told us video converts listings better. It does. That's my experience as well. Get some videos in your listings. Right, number 6. This is a tough one, and when I talk to my clients about this, it really is tough love time when I talk about this. Number 6 is poor quality products. Okay, so if you're doing POD, it's not the actual product itself, the t-shirt, the mug, the laptop cover, that's low quality. It's your designs. Most of the POD sellers that I look at that come to me as clients, their designs aren't good enough. They're nowhere near good enough to sell on Etsy. And if you're making physical products, it's the same thing. Your standard of the work that you do has to be high enough for people to want to buy it. You know, you've really got to check in with yourself and check the marketplace and say, are my products up to standard? Are my designs good enough? So most of the clients that come to me, their products aren't good enough. The jewellery's not good enough. The designs for POD t-shirts, they're nowhere near good enough. Taking designs from Creative Fabrica, slapping them on t-shirts, that's not good enough. You know, jewellery, it's got to be at a good standard. Home decor, wood products. You know, you've really got to put yourself in the mind of the buyer and ask yourself, ask others, is this good enough? Would you buy this? So many people still get this wrong. Let's get on to number 5. Number 5, it's my favorite one to talk about for things that our sellers are, doing wrong and wasting their time with. It's SEO. I keep saying it. I know I keep banging this drum, but it's with good reason. I don't build successful stores with my clients wasting time on SEO. I don't do that. And none of the successful stores I work with ever use these tools for SEO. It's not necessary. Yes, your SEO has got to be to an adequate standard. Use all your title space, describe the product fully, use all your tag space. You don't have to spend all this time messing around with keywords. Etsy is smart. It's getting better and better at surfacing products for search queries. It doesn't even need full keywords or even partial keywords to show your products. Platforms like Etsy, they're moving on from SEO. They are constantly looking at new ways to surface products for search queries and for things that customers want that don't involve words. If you think about it, it's so basic and such an old way of doing things. Don't waste too much time on SEO. Let's get on to number 4. Number 4, stop wasting your time with social media on Etsy. Okay, I've said this so many times, and everybody else on YouTube is saying, use social media, use social media, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, TikTok for your Etsy store. Please don't. Please don't do it. If you're going to use social media, okay, social media is not to make sales. It's not to make sales. Don't listen to all these people that are saying make more sales with social media. They have no idea what they're talking about. You don't use social media to make sales. If you are wasting your time and killing yourself trying to get this traffic. No, you don't use social media for sales. Switch that off. You use social media for building your brand. Okay, it's to build your brand message, not to scrabble around. Oh, will this bit of jewelry get me some sales from TikTok or Instagram? It's crazy. Social media, don't use it for Etsy, period. Send that traffic to your website, and then don't try to eke out sales on social media. No, build your brand with it. That's what it's for. It's to build your global presence, not try to sell things to customers. Don't go down that route. Go down the route of building your brand with it. Don't waste your time with social media trying to get sales on Etsy. Get that traffic to your website. Let's get on to the next one. Number 3. This is a massive one now. We're getting to some really important stuff here. Number 3, I keep talking about it. I've been talking about it since this channel has opened, yet I still get people in the comments all the time not listening and not saying, not understanding what I'm saying. So number 3 is not enough inventory. So if you've got 20, 30, 40 items in your store, it's not enough. It's not enough, okay? 50, not enough. Get to 100. Try to get to 100. And some of you, I know this doesn't work for everybody because items take too long, the production process takes too long. I get it. Do what works for you. Remember, I'm giving solid advice to the masses. So solid guidance that falls back on 8 years of working with thousands and thousands of clients. So not enough items. Try to get to 100. If you can't get to 100, do what works for you. Get to 50, get to 60, do what you can. Chances are, if you can't get to 100, you will be making sales on lower inventory. Because clearly, if you're taking more time to make your products, most people aren't going to be doing it. So you probably won't need to get to 100. Do what works for you. If you can get to 100, please do it. It proves viability of your Etsy business. Right, let's get on to number 2. Right, number 2 is something that most Etsy sellers shouldn't have as a problem, but they do, and that is not enough stock. So how many are in stock for each item that you sell? So many people on YouTube are saying, oh, have 1 in stock, have 2 in stock, 3 in stock, because then Etsy says low stock, and it brings scarcity and might get people to buy. It might do. It might get people to buy, but that's not the problem. The problem is there's no trust for Etsy when you have low stock numbers. And if your items go out of stock, that's the worst thing you can do. It's literally so destructive for your store. So don't have low stock numbers. Don't listen to all these people on YouTube telling you to put 1 in stock. It's garbage advice. Have deep stock levels so that you can build repeat sales, get sales velocity, get that visibility in for your products. That's what this game is all about, okay? Deep stock is number 2. Let's get on to number 1 and see what the biggest one of all is. Number 1, and this is something I've talked about a lot, and so many sellers don't realize where their time is slipping through their hands. Number 1 is not valuing and placing your time in the right places. So time is the most important thing you've got, and as you get more busy, as your business starts to succeed, you realize that this is the case. You've got to position and place yourself in the areas of your business where time brings the most value return for you. So things like social media and SEO put you right at the bottom of your time earnings pyramid. So when you put yourself at the top of your earnings time pyramid, you're getting maximum return on the time you invest. When you put yourself at the bottom of your time earnings pyramid, your time is bringing the lowest return possible. You've got to be at the top. So product research, new ideas, new designs, staffing improvements, workflow improvements, that's top of your earnings pyramid. SEO work, social media work, that's bottom. That is bottom because the return on that is so low compared to everything else. So think about where you're investing your time in your business and try to move yourself up that pyramid. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this series of 10 things that are costing people sales on Etsy. Get into the comments, let me know if you do any of these. I'd love to hear that. Any questions, of course, put them in my comments. And there's no excuse not to work with me. The links to book consultations with me are in the description of this video. And I look forward to catching you in the comments and also working with you. Cheers.